Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. I'm a normal, maybe somewhat a healthy man. I'm 5 feet 6 inches tall and have a medium build. My stomach is swollen from drinking too many beers, but other than that, I'm in good health. Stacy is my girlfriend, and we've been living together for almost a year. Bill is the son of the owner of the place where I work. He is my best friend. I hang out with him, a few of his good friends, and me 2 or 3 times a week. I have never, and I mean never, wished I was a girl in my whole life. In fact, I'm glad I'm a man, and if you asked me, I'd have to say that I'm happy with where I am in life and what I do with my body. Within a year, I turn into Veronica, a full-fledged woman with all the desires, dreams, and traits of my new gender, spending a lot of time making myself look good and appealing. I'm crazy about Bill, my best friend and lover. I now understand what went wrong. But first, let me tell you about how I changed and what my friends and girlfriend thought about it. I want to tell you my story because it will show you how small things can change if you end up in the same situation I did. My story starts with a promise I made for the new year. On January 1st, I get out of the shower and look in the mirror. I have 2 thoughts about this. It looked like I was 5 months pregnant on my stomach, which is crazy. I step on the scale and see that last night's partying has made me weigh more than 170 pounds, which is a new high for old Vernon here. I laugh as I yell into the next room at Stacy. "Hey, Stace, I think you and I should get married before the baby comes." Stace peeks around the corner and sees me stretch out my stomach to make it look like I'm 5 months pregnant and bloated. She comes up behind me and caresses my swollen stomach. She whispers in my ear, "You better go on a diet, my love, before all of our friends start to talk." She then bites my ear and walks away. I tell her right away that today is day 1 of the journey to 140 pounds. After I say it, I have no idea what it means. Before Stace told me about it, I had never thought about going on a diet. It's like someone else in my body has decided that I need to lose weight. The 140-pound goal seems very high to me. I haven't been that heavy since I was very young. The second thing I realize is that I think my macho mustache looks silly for the first time since I started growing it 11 years ago. I don't know why, but it just doesn't look right anymore, and I don't want it anymore. I grab the scissors from the top drawer on a whim, and my trademark walrus mustache is gone in 5 minutes. Then I shave my upper lip twice to make sure there is no hair there. After 10 minutes, I come out of the bathroom wearing my sports shirt and slacks. I put on my running shoes. "Hey, Stace, would you like to go for a run with me in the morning?" he asks. She looks up from her magazine and spills her coffee. She blurts out, "What happened to your mustache?" "I hardly recognize you. I had to lose all the extra weight to get to 140 pounds. How about a run?" The next strange thing happened on March 1st. I stuck to my diet for 2 months, and I'm happy to see that I've finally reached 145 pounds when I step on the scale. I've been doing exercises for my waist, and now it's a little over 30 inches around. When I look at myself in the mirror, I see that my arms and legs are a bit thinner than I remember them being. My eyes move to my hair, which I haven't cut in 8 weeks. I would have been crazy about getting it cut normally. Without giving it much thought, I brush my wet hair back and try to make a ponytail with the few strands I can grab. I love how sleek it looks. Stacy walks into the bathroom right as I'm striking a pose, and I can see her shocked reaction in the mirror. I ask her out of the blue if she thinks I'd look better with long hair. She walks over and makes a ponytail with one of her hair bands. It's only 4 inches long, but she has to admit it looks good on me. "I think you should go for it," she said. "Your hair is thick enough, and I see more and more men with ponytails these days. But honestly, Vern, if you're going to grow your hair long, you should thin your eyebrows. They used to match your mustache and bushy hairstyle, but they look out of place now." "You're right, Stace. I can't believe I had a mustache a few months ago," I say. "How disgusting." Stacy will have a pair of tweezers ready for me when I get dressed. She takes about 30 minutes to thin out and shape my eyebrows into a style that works for both men and women. When I look in the mirror, I sometimes think that I look a little bit girly, but I don't say anything about it to my wife. We are almost done with our run when I see Stacy smiling. I ask, "What is it?" "You still have your ponytail, Vernon." As a reflex, I pull the scruffy hair out and immediately feel bad about it. I would have liked to keep it in. And when I needed to make a decision, I blurted out, "I've decided to let my hair grow, Stacy." At 4 months, I got out of the shower on May 1st to check on my weight loss. I can't believe the scales say 135. I stand in front of Stacy's makeup mirror and look at my thin body and long, loose hair. I think to myself for the first time that I look pretty girly. My hips and waist look wrong. On a whim, I grab the tape measure and put it around my waist. I always measure my hips, and I'm surprised to find that they're 36 inches, which is a bit bigger than I thought they were a few months ago. I turn to the side and stick out my stomach. My chest is just a little bit swollen. It's not that obvious unless you look at it from a certain angle while I'm standing straight and pulling in my stomach. I put my hands on my chest and pull myself up. Stacy went to work already. I should have gone to work too, but instead, I'm sitting in Stacy's makeup chair in front of the mirror, not knowing what to do. I hear myself asking, "What is going on?" over and over again. My first thought is to cut my long hair and let my mustache grow back. I'm even holding the scissors. But the thought of having short hair makes my jaws drop to the floor. I realize all of a sudden that I like how I look now, even though I still don't want to look like a girl. I am so surprised by the strange thoughts that I quickly get dressed and go to work. Over the next 2 months, I think to myself several times that something is very wrong. On that fateful Friday, July 1st, I get out of the shower and think about what I learned on May 1st. It's the umpteenth time I've done this. On that day, I stopped dieting, but the scale now said I weighed 128. I took a look at my body and decided that my arms and legs are very thin. I put my hands in front of my face. Usually, I don't let my nails get longer than a 1/16 of an inch, but now they are over 1/4 of an inch long. I've always been able to cut my nails, but now I can't. As I look at my hands, Stacy walks into the bathroom. "What's up, Vernon? Something wrong with your hands?" she asks. "Stacy, look at me," I say as I stand in front of her with a big bath towel wrapped around my middle. "Something is very wrong with my body," I say, and the pain in my voice makes Stacy worry even more. "I just stepped on the scale, and even though I haven't been on a diet for 2 months, I'm still losing weight," I complain. "But Vernon, you eat like a bird. Even after your diet, I've never seen you eat a big meal. You eat less than I do," she says. I tell her, "Look at my fingernails," and I hold them up to her face. "I can't do it. They're perfect," I say in a high-pitched, hysterical voice. "You're right. Any girl would be happy with nails like that. Mine always break before they get that long. Do you want me to cut them for you?" "No," I say in a panic as I pull my nails away from hers. "I couldn't take it," I said. "What is happening to me? I seem to be turning into a girl. Please tell me it's not true." "I don't know how to tell you this, Vernon, but you definitely have a feminine figure. You should see a doctor because there must be a problem with your hormones." I don't know what to do. I've noticed that my pants are tight around my legs, and I've started wearing suspenders because a belt bunches up around my small waist. Is my body really girly? Stacy says, "The only way to know is to try on some of my clothes." "Are you willing to do that?" "No, absolutely not," I say. We go into the bedroom and sit in silence for a few minutes on the bed. Stacy rubs my back and brushes my longish hair to the back. "I'll bet you a dinner at the winner's choice that you can't make me look like a girl." "Okay, but if we agree that you look like a girl, you have to go to dinner as a girl tomorrow night. And if I don't, you get to buy your macho boyfriend a meal at Dante's." It's just after 6. I need to run to the store to get a few things, and I'll pick up some Chinese food for dinner. "Like what?" I ask, a little worried. She replies sarcastically, "Like chicken fried rice, sweet and sour spare ribs, and deep-fried prawns." After a moment, she adds, "Like a bra in your size, unless you want to wear one of mine. In the meantime, I want you to get in the mood. While I'm gone, I want you to take a bubble bath, wash your hair, and then use a cream rinse. Oh, and please shave your armpits." A bubble bath is relaxing. I could get used to this pretty quickly. I think while I'm lying there in bliss. What's happening to me? I'm on a diet, don't have a mustache, have long hair, thin eyebrows, and now my armpits are hairless. When Stacy pops her head into the bathroom and tells me it's time to get out of the tub, She puts me in her pink terry cloth robe right away and wraps my hair in a towel like a turban. She makes me wear her fluffy pink slippers, too. Even though I feel stupid, I agree to do whatever she asks. We sit down to dinner, and she shows me everything she bought for me. I got this hair coloring kit. As you can see, it will wash out after 5 or 6 shampoos. I thought you would look better with auburn hair instead of brown. These earrings are clip-on. Remember, all mine are for pierced ears. They may look long, but I'm sure they won't reach your shoulders. I feel like a girl now that I've taken a bubble bath and put on a girly bathrobe, towel, and slippers. She then shows me the baby blue tank top she bought for me. It will show your top and belly button at the same time, she says with a smile. Since our waists, hips, and feet are the same size, I thought you could wear my jeans and dark blue sandals with straps. I think I can show you that you look feminine without wearing a femme fatale outfit. I breathe a sigh of relief because I thought she was going to put me in a mini dress and high heels. Finally, she hands me a bottle of bright red nail polish. I just sit still while she paints her nails again and again. I have to say that my nails look very girly. I can't take my eyes off of them after a few minutes. At last, I decide that this is how I want my nails to look, and I don't want to take the polish off. I'm in a lot of trouble. By the time she's done with my toes, I can't take my eyes off of my nails. Every nail shined perfectly. The nails were as well shaped as Joan, our office receptionist. She's always taking care of her nails, so she must like them a lot. I've never seen anyone care so much about their nails as she does, and now I get it. I even heard the other girls talking about Joan. Other girls? Where did that come from? She makes me put on her jeans, and after she zips up the back. When I look down, my stomach is flat and smooth. I just realized that these are the first pants I've worn in the last 4 months that actually fit me. When I close my eyes, I can feel them squeezing my whole lower body just a little bit, but the waist fits, and I let out a sigh of happiness. I put the sandals on my feet. I have to say that my front looks like a woman's from my waist down. Even the tops of my thighs have those female bulges to the side, which is part of my hourglass shape. Before I can calm down, the blue halter with ruffles is already on. I can't get rid of it. Last but not least, 2 very feminine feet with blood-red toenails can be seen from under the jeans. I think I look like a pretty girl from this angle. Stacy tells me to bend down in front of the kitchen sink while she puts on the color rinse. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see that my brown hair is turning a very feminine auburn color. I look at the fingernails that are holding up the front of the sink and wonder who they belong to. Then I remember that they are mine. My hair is going to be styled, blown, fluffed, and combed for the next half hour. I pass the time by looking at my fingernails and toenails and wiggling them to make sure they are attached to my body. There are times when I think I shouldn't have done this, but I can't wait to see what the end result will be. For now, I'm trying to think like a girl, and I'm sure that after this stupid bed is over, I'll feel differently. I definitely want to stay a guy, but let me try to look like a girl and see what happens. I wouldn't tell Stace any of these thoughts, of course, but I'm sure that a line was crossed within this hour that I had spent the last few months trying to deny with every breath I took. Putting on the earrings snaps me out of my daze. In another moment, I see a small silver heart hanging in the space between my chest, and I can feel Stace fastening the clasp of the thin chain around the back of my neck. Then she takes off her watch and gives it to me. It's very girly, and I gave it to her last year for her birthday. Now, she whispers in my ear, the last step to getting my dinner. I look at her as she puts a few clear strips on my face. After she smooths and presses them for a few minutes, she rips one of them off. I can see that it is full of tiny hairs and the round roots of those hairs. She laughs as she pulls off strip after strip of my hair. "You won't have to shave for a week," she says. After she has cleaned my face, she starts to trim my eyebrows. I beg her to stop because I have to go to work the next day and don't want to look like a woman. "We're almost done," she says with a kiss on my cheek. In the next few minutes, she puts on foundation, powder, liquid eyeliner, and blue eyeshadow on my face. Lastly, she uses a brush and a thin pencil to work on my lips. As she turns me around to look in the mirror, she says, "Well, Veronica, are you ready to buy me dinner?" There's that name again, and every time I hear it, I like it more. Veronica, Veronica, Veronica. I guess this momentary distraction catches me off guard because when I look at myself, I am completely taken aback. I can't help but say, "Oh my God, I'm drop-dead gorgeous." And I stand there with my mouth open for a long time. It's not so much that I look like a woman as that I don't look like a man at all. My face looked like it should be on the cover of a magazine. I don't know where Stacy got that massive hair, but the way the lights in the room make the colors sparkle makes it look like it's alive. I now have bangs and an upsweep on my left side. On my left side, curls cascade down to my chest, giving me a royal look. My lipstick is a soft red color that has a hint of orange. It looks great on the face in the mirror. I can't help but give that tempting half smile I've seen so many women use. My skin is perfect, and the sharp lines I was expecting have disappeared into a cloud of shadowing. "Well, I guess you're giving up, Veronica," she says with pride. As we walk into the living room, I agree. Dinner is on me. I'm being eaten alive by my new self. I keep having fantasies about being a girl and doing girly things. When my doorbell rings, I wake up. When I look up, I see Bill looking right at me through my front door window. I turn around and run as quickly as I can to the bathroom. I can hear Stacy answer the door from inside the bathroom. "Hi, Bill. What's up?" "I was lonely and thought I'd drop by to see if you and Vernon wanted to do something. But now that I see you already have someone with you, maybe we could do something with the four of us. You have to introduce me to that beautiful woman you were talking to." "Sure. Veronica, come out and meet Bill." I see a pretty girl when I look at myself in the bathroom mirror. She is scared, and as she turns to lock the bathroom door, Stacy and Bill are standing in the hall looking at her. Bill doesn't act like he knows anything. Stacy says with such care, "Bill and I will be in the living room when you're ready to join us." I see Bill's mouth open wide. I scream, "What are you doing to me, Stace?" I'm about to cry. "Why did you let Bill see me like this?" Bill says at last in a calm voice. "Vern, it's okay. Just remember that you're my best friend." I'm surprised but not shocked. "You're so beautiful and feminine. When you're ready, please come talk to us." He then took Stacy by the shoulder and led her back to the living room. I have to calm down for about 10 minutes before I can face Bill. I try to act like a woman as best I can. I already had a speech ready for Bill, but Stacy got there first. "Listen, Veronica, Bill and I have talked about you. He knows you're becoming more and more like a woman, and he's relieved to hear that you can't stop it. You need his help more than ever. How much longer do you think you'll be able to pass as a man? Look at yourself. Look, in a few weeks, you'll have no choice but to look like a girl. I could try to run away, but if I did, I'd just have to come back. I only have Stacy and Bill to help me." When Stacy picks up the phone, I hear her making plans for tomorrow night at Dante. There are 3 of us, and Veronica's name should be on the reservations. Then, for the next 4 hours, we talked about my situation and tried to figure out why it was happening. The way Stacy and I get along has changed, and she is now much closer to me. By the end of the night, it's getting easier and easier for me to talk to Bill as Veronica. He ends the night by giving me a hug and telling me, "This will be a night to remember." I go to see my friend and find that he is the most feminine person I have ever met. Stacy and I go to bed after Bill leaves. We fall asleep the next morning. I have my last kiss with Stacy as a man. At 8 months, so much has happened in the last 2 months that I don't know where to start. My numbers should show what's going on with me. At the moment, I weigh 125 pounds. My hips are now 37 inches, and my waist is now 26 inches. When the 3 of us go to Dante's on that fateful Saturday in July, I've already decided to change my gender. Bill and I dance, and I couldn't help but notice how good he looked. I'm so proud of myself for doing that, because now I have full control. Stacy says she looked everywhere for a fire hose because she is embarrassed that we will be thrashing around on the dance floor. He looks at me like a puppy who just fell in love and tells me that things will work out. I didn't think any of this would happen, and my body is weak in his hands. When Stacy sees me in our living room light, she puts her hands to her mouth and says, "Oh, Veronica, look at your nails. They are brilliant red." It turns out that she used one of those new nail polishes that changes color depending on how you feel. We talk late into the night about how I've changed and how strong my mind is. I tell her that I have made up my mind, that I am already a woman, and that I don't want to go back to Vernon. Stace and Bill persuade me that I need to go back to my doctor as soon as I can. Stace actually sets up an appointment for me for the following week and takes time off work to go with me. The conclusion doesn't make sense if you have male organs. My body is making more and more estrogen and no more testosterone. I also have a set of female organs in my body as shown by x-rays. Even though they are just starting, they tell me what to do. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't be a man anymore. Even after 4 sessions, they couldn't explain how they got to where they were or what started their growth. But at that point, it was medically certain that I would be a full-fledged woman by October. Also, at the end of July, Stace moved out of the apartment. She said she was going to her home in Chicago for a few months, and we promised to be best friends. When we say goodbye at the airport, we both cry, and I tell her that if she doesn't move back by the end of the year, I'll stay on her doorstep in Chicago. It's different to be with Bill. I'd always liked Stacy. We had even talked about getting married, but nothing had been set in stone. It's a lot more than just going through the motions, but how I feel about Bill has nothing to do with it. Bill stood up for me at work. In the first week of July, Bill worked with the company's management and staff to make sure I could keep my job. He had made plans with the company for them to pay my medical bills and check in with my doctor about how I was doing. If Bill hadn't stepped in, I'm pretty sure they would have fired me. Being the son of the owner has its perks. In any case, I started working full-time in a new department on July 11th as a woman. We still talk on the phone almost every day with Stacy. She can't believe how girly my voice is. We were both crying when I got off the phone with her this morning. On October 1st, she will be back. I've given it a lot of thought to figure out what made me change. I have thought a lot about what I did last December. The only thing that seems out of the ordinary was a chocolate bar I got from someone at work at the Christmas party. I remember making a big deal about it at the time, thinking, who would give me a fancy chocolate bar? No one is responsible, but one of the girls says it must be from Santa Claus. I look at the package for hints. I've never seen a candy bar like it before. It was in a pink package with a gold label that said, "A surprise for Vernon." On Christmas morning, I wake up early to make Stacy a special breakfast. I'm very hungry, and since breakfast is still an hour or 2 away, I ate the chocolate bar. By far, it's the best chocolate I've ever tasted. I'll save some for Stacy, but when I look down, it's all gone. I look closely at the label to find out who makes it. At the bottom of the back, in small print, it says, "This was made especially for you. I hope the transformation was successful. We tried our best." Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for a lot more content and early access to YouTube videos.